I held my wife Marilyn's hand as cancer stole her last breath. Her final words haunt me every night. Promise me, give our baby girl the home I'll never see her raise her children in. I sold my kidney. I sold blood plasma every week for 20 years. I ate one meal a day and worked 4 jobs until I collapsed. Today, I finally placed the keys to her dream house in my daughter Evelyn's trembling hands. But as tears of joy streamed down her face, I overheard her husband on the phone. The pathetic old fool just handed us $2 million in property. She's too weak to stop us from taking it. Those words would start a war that would destroy them. The brass keys felt like my entire life's weight as I slid them across the restaurant table toward Evelyn. They were attached to a hand-carved wooden heart I'd made from Marilyn's favorite oak tree, inscribed with words that shattered my voice, Evelyn's forever home. Until we meet again, love, Dad and Mom. Daddy, what have you done? Evelyn's golden eyes, Marilyn's eyes, overflowed as she recognized the address engraved below, 1847 Sunrise Circle, Savannah, Georgia. 20 years of cleaning hospitals, driving trucks, selling everything I owned, I said, my throat burning. Your mother, her last day, she made me record her final message for you. You need to see it. With trembling fingers, I found the video I watched every sleepless night. Marilyn appeared on screen, skeletal but fierce, wearing the quilt Evelyn had made her in high school. My precious Evelyn, Daddy's going to work himself to death for this gift. When he gives it to you, know that every sacrifice, every skipped meal, every 16-hour shift, we chose them together. The house you drew in crayon at age 6 with the wraparound porch and room for grandchildren I'll never see. Make it real, baby. Fill it with the laughter I won't hear, the love I won't see. I'm already there, waiting in every sunbeam through the windows. Evelyn collapsed into sobs, clutching the keys so tightly they cut into her palm. Daddy, I can't accept this. You live in a shed behind the factory now. You gave up everything. You are everything, I said, reaching across to grip her shaking hands. Every sacrifice was a privilege. Every hardship was worth seeing you smile again. Braxley, her husband of 2 years, hadn't looked up from his phone once. His manicured fingers typed furiously while Evelyn and I wept together. His $1,000 suit mocked the patches on my work jacket. This is, problematic, Braxley finally said, his Yale-educated voice dripping condescension. Property taxes in historic Savannah are crushing. The maintenance alone. All handled, I interrupted, sliding him a folder with shaking hands. Trust fund established for 20 years of expenses. The house is in Evelyn's name alone. My final gift to my only child. His jaw twitched. His phone buzzed and he smirked at the screen. Mother will need to inspect it immediately. She has, standards. Evelyn's face crumbled, her fingers unconsciously covering the bruise on her forearm she thought her cardigan hid. Could we maybe have just one night? Family is everything, darling. Braxley's tone carried a threat that made my stomach turn. Mother is already driving from her estate in Buckhead. She'll arrive at dawn. I watched my daughter transform from joy to terror in seconds. After Marilyn died, Evelyn was drowning in grief, desperate for love, for family. Braxley had appeared like a savior, wealthy, handsome, promising her everything she'd lost. Daddy, will you be there tomorrow? Evelyn whispered, her voice small as a child's. Please? Nothing could stop me, sweetheart. As we left the restaurant, I heard Braxley on the phone, his voice carrying in the humid Savannah night. Yes, Mother. tomorrow. The senile old fool has no idea what he just gave us. No, she's too pathetic and broken to resist. Standing in that parking lot, watching my daughter fold into herself as she got into Braxley's Tesla, I realized my gift might have just signed her death warrant. If you're a parent who would die for your child, who understands this father's pain, please hit that subscribe button now. Evelyn's story needs witnesses. Don't scroll past. She needs you to see what happens next. Your subscription could save another daughter. The moving trucks arrived like an invasion. 5 of them, though Evelyn and Braxley owned barely enough for one. I stood in the driveway of 1847 Sunrise Circle, watching the historic Victorian I'd restored with bloodied hands, as Thessaly Blackmore emerged from her Bentley like a queen claiming territory. "Keelan," she said my name like spitting out rotten food. "How quaint." She examined the 1876 Victorian I'd spent 2 years restoring, her nose wrinkling. "We'll gut it immediately. This pathetic southern charm is beneath us." Evelyn rushed out, carrying her own boxes, while 4 movers carried in what was clearly Thessaly's furniture, antiques that belonged in a museum. "Mrs. Blackmore, I thought you were just visiting for the weekend." "I'll be taking the master suite permanently," Braxley announced, avoiding Evelyn's eyes. "Mother's estate in Buckhead is being sold." The lie was transparent. I'd done my research. Thessaly had been evicted from 3 mansions in 2 years, her champagne lifestyle bleeding her dry. But Evelyn, sweet, trusting Evelyn, just nodded. "Of course, we have guest rooms." "The master suite, dear. You and Braxley can take the servants' quarters. And bring me tea, imported only, in China. None of those pathetic mugs you people use." I watched my daughter's spirit shatter as she headed to her own kitchen like hired help. Braxley's brother Xander roared up in a Lamborghini, parking over the heritage roses I'd planted last week. "Sweet setup, bro!" He fist-bumped Braxley. "Mom said I get the whole 3rd floor." "That's my studio," Evelyn said quietly, returning with the tea service, her grandmother's china, the only thing we'd saved after Marilyn's medical bills bankrupted us. "Was," Braxley corrected. "Xander needs space for his crypto trading setup. You can paint in the basement." The tray shook violently in Evelyn's hands. I stepped forward, catching it before catastrophe. "Evelyn designed that studio specifically for the natural light." "Are you still here?" Thessaly's voice cut like a blade. "This is a family matter, Keelan. Return to your, what do you call it, tool shed?" Evelyn's eyes met mine, pleading. "Don't fight, Daddy, please." I wanted to throw them out immediately, but the exhaustion in her daughter's face, the defeat in her posture, she'd been so alone since Marilyn died, so desperate for belonging. Braxley had promised her family, love, acceptance. Instead, he'd brought vultures. "Evelyn, walk me to my truck," I said carefully. At my rust-covered pickup, she finally broke. "It's temporary, Daddy. Thessaly has financial troubles, and families support each other, right? That's what love means. That's what Braxley says." "Baby girl, this is your house. Your name alone is on that deed." "Our house," she corrected, but uncertainty flickered. "Braxley says marriage means everything becomes both of ours. He has papers from his lawyer. He says it's for insurance." My blood turned to ice. "What papers?" She looked away. "Just formalities, transfer documents. He says it's for insurance." I gripped her shoulders gently, feeling bones where muscle used to be. Evelyn rose. "Promise me on your mother's soul you won't sign anything without calling me first. Promise me." "Daddy, you're overreacting." From the house, Thessaly's shriek pierced the morning. "Evelyn, this tea is cold as your hospitality. And why are my belongings not yet arranged?" My daughter flinched, already stepping away. "I have to go."
As I drove away, I saw her in my rearview mirror, small and fragile in the doorway of her dream house, while shadows circled behind the windows like sharks. The Spanish moss swayed in the trees, and I swear it looked like Marilyn's hair, whispering, "Save our baby." If your heart is breaking for Evelyn, if you see your own daughter in her pain, please hit that like button right now. Every parent's nightmare is watching their child disappear. Show Evelyn she's not invisible. Subscribe now. Share this story because her fight is just beginning.
My phone rang at 2:47 a.m. Evelyn's voice came through in broken whispers like she was drowning. "Daddy, they have papers. Legal documents with my signature. They say the house. God, Daddy, they say I already signed it over." I was already pulling on my work boots. "I'm coming now." "No." Pure terror in her voice. "Braxley's outside the bathroom door. I'm hiding in the bathtub with the shower running. Daddy, there are documents I've never seen. Loans for wedding expenses, rent from before marriage, even bills for emotional damages to Tessely. My signature is on all of them, but I swear on Mama's grave, I never—" A door slammed. Braxley's voice boomed. "Who the hell are you calling?" The line went dead. I didn't sleep, couldn't breathe. By dawn, I was in the office of Bellamy Whitehorse, the best property attorney in Georgia, spreading every document from Evelyn's house purchase across her desk. "The deed is ironclad," Bellamy assured me, her silver hair gleaming, her Cherokee heritage evident in her sharp cheekbones. "Evelyn's sole ownership is protected. But," she paused, "if they forge documents, if they're claiming premarital debts, we need those papers immediately." She's terrified. They watch her constantly. Bellamy's expression darkened. "Keelan, that's false imprisonment. We could involve Savannah PD. She won't testify against him. She still believes he loves her." The words tasted like poison. "I need another way." That afternoon, I parked behind the old Baptist church on Bull Street, watching the house through binoculars. Tessely's Bentley was gone, her weekly spa appointment at the mansion on Forsyth Park. Braxley's Tesla sat in the driveway, but through the window, I could see him passed out, wine bottles scattered like graves. I texted Evelyn, "Back garden, 2 minutes." She slipped out like a ghost, 30 pounds thinner than 6 months ago, her cheekbones sharp as broken glass. In her shaking hands, crumpled papers. "I took photos," she showed me her phone. "Daddy, they have a contract dated 5 years ago, before I even met Braxley. It says I borrowed $800,000 from Thessaly for art education and expenses. There's my signature, but I was working at Waffle House then, saving quarters in a jar." I zoomed in. The signature was close, but wrong. Evelyn always crossed her A with a heart, something Marilyn taught her. This was expert forgery, but imperfect. "There's more," she said, voice breaking. "Braxley's been recording me, making me thank Thessaly for her generosity on video. He says it's for family memories. But Daddy, he's building a case. He has my therapy records after Mama died, the suicide attempt, the psychiatric hold. He says he'll have me declared incompetent." The garden that should have bloomed with her butterfly gardens was dead, the soil hard as concrete. Evelyn had dreamed of teaching her future children to paint here. Now she could barely stand. "Pack a bag, leave with me. Now." "I can't." Tears carved rivers down her face. "He has videos of my breakdown. He has recordings of me saying I wanted to die. He says no judge in Georgia would let a mentally ill woman keep property, that I need supervision. Baby girl, I'm so sorry, Daddy. You sold your kidney, lived in that shed, went hungry for weeks, and I let them—" "Stop." I held her face in my calloused hands like when she was 5 and scared of thunderstorms. "This is not your fault. Love is not weakness, but their greed, that's their weakness, and I'm gonna bury them with it." Thessaly's Bentley pulled up. Evelyn bolted inside, but not before I heard Thessaly on her phone laughing. "The pathetic mouse is almost broken. Another week and she'll sign anything to make it stop." War then, and I learned about war from my father in Vietnam. When family is threatened, you don't fight fair. You fight to win.
If you've ever felt trapped or watched someone you love being destroyed, you understand Evelyn's agony. Please smash that subscribe button right now. Ring the notification bell. She needs an army of witnesses. Every share could save another woman from this nightmare. Don't let her disappear. Jericho Cross didn't look like a private investigator. With his torn military jacket and prosthetic leg, he seemed more like a forgotten veteran than a bloodhound. But his eyes, sharp as shrapnel, missed nothing as I spread Thessaly's photos across the picnic table at Forsyth Park. Financial fraud, identity theft, elder abuse, and 3 suspicious deaths, he said, sliding a waterproof folder across the weathered wood. Thessaly Blackmore is a serial predator, Mr. Keelan. Your daughter is victim number 7 that I've documented. My coffee cup slipped. 7? 3 elderly husbands, all dead within 2 years of marriage, 2 business partners who committed suicide after signing over assets, a niece who overdosed after changing her will, and now Evelyn. He pulled out photographs. But she's desperate now, making mistakes. The photos showed Thessaly entering a meth house on the west side, the kind where bodies were found weekly. Another showed her with a young man, intimate over dinner. That's Phoenix Carrillo, master forger, owes money to the cartels. Jericho tapped another photo. Phoenix and Thessaly at a UPS store, him signing papers while she watched. Yesterday, right when those loan documents appeared. Can we prove it? Better. Phoenix's pregnant girlfriend just found out about Thessaly. She recorded everything, dates, amounts, even video of Thessaly ordering specific forgeries. She wants revenge. My hands shook with rage and relief. This ends them. There's more. Jericho's expression darkened. Braxley's done this before. Twice. The park spun. What? Stellara Chen, married at 22, divorced at 24. Tech heiress worth $15 million. By the divorce, she was homeless. He showed me an Atlanta Journal headline, Tech heiress loses everything in bitter divorce. Same playbook. Romance, isolation, forged documents, mental incompetence threats. Stellara lives under a bridge now, begging for change. Would she testify? She's terrified, but, Jericho smiled grimly, she kept everything. Every email, document, recording. She's been waiting 6 years for someone else to come forward. I thought of Evelyn disappearing before my eyes. Set up a meeting. That evening, I met Stellara at a truck stop off I-95. She was skeletal, her hands shaking around a coffee mug, but her eyes burned with fury. Evelyn is kind, isn't she? Too kind. Apologizes when they hurt her. Her voice turned razor-sharp. I was the same. Thessaly called me daughter while stealing my grandmother's fortune. Braxley said he loved me while documenting every tear after my parents' plane crash. Help me save her. Stellara pulled out a battered flash drive. Everything is here. Every crime, every lie, every piece of evidence. She met my eyes. I've been in therapy for 6 years, Mr. Keelan. I'm ready to burn them alive. Why now? Because last week I walked past my grandmother's mansion on River Street, the one she built with her bare hands after fleeing China. Thessaly painted it black as her soul. She keeps it empty, just to hurt me. Stellara stood. Save your daughter, then help me put them in prison forever. As she left, she turned back. Mr. Keelan, don't let Evelyn blame herself. The shame nearly killed me. I tried 3 times. Make sure she knows predators choose the softest hearts because they're easiest to break. But broken doesn't mean destroyed. I sat in that truck stop until dawn, the flash drive burning in my pocket, planning the war that would free my daughter. Thunder shook Savannah as I stood on the porch of 1847 Sunrise Circle, rain soaking through to my bones. In my briefcase, Stellara's flash drive, Phoenix's confession, and a federal court injunction Bellamy had rushed through. In my heart, the rage of a father with nothing left to lose. Braxley opened the door, his smile cold as a morgue. Keelan, bit late for visiting? Family meeting, now. Evelyn's indisposed. Daddy! Evelyn appeared behind him, skeletal in a bathrobe that hung like a death shroud. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong anymore, baby girl. Everything's about to be right. I pushed past Braxley into the living room where Thessaly held court, wine glass in hand, her feet on Marilyn's antique ottoman, the one piece I'd begged Evelyn to keep. The garbage collector arrives, come to beg for scraps. I set my briefcase on the coffee table with deliberate calm. One chance. Leave tonight, never contact Evelyn again, or I destroy you. Xander laughed from the corner, his gaming setup blinking. With what? Food stamps? I pulled out the photos first. Thessaly with Phoenix, the forgery in progress. Her face went white, wine glass shattering on the floor Marilyn and I had restored together. Photoshopped, she stammered. Phoenix Carrillo disagrees. I played his recorded confession. Thessaly Blackmore paid me 10 grand to forge Evelyn Keelan's signature, said the girl was too stupid and broken to notice. Evelyn gasped. Braxley lunged for the phone, but I held up the federal injunction. Asset freeze on everything you own, Thessaly. Federal investigation for racketeering, forgery, and murder. You're bluffing. Stellara Chen sends her regards. The name hit like a sledgehammer. Thessaly stumbled, Braxley catching her, his face draining white. Who? Evelyn asked. Your husband's first wife, the one they destroyed with this exact same playbook. I spread Stellara's evidence across the table. Every manipulation, every forged document, every cruelty, they've done it all before. Evelyn's legs gave out. She collapsed, staring at Braxley with eyes that finally saw truth. You were married? It wasn't, he started. It was exactly that. I opened Stellara's file. The wedding Braxley never mentioned, the mansion they stole, the woman who looked exactly like Evelyn. Kind eyes, trusting smile, destroyed. You picked me because Mama had just died, because I was suicidal, because I was broken, because I was easy prey. Evelyn, baby, I love— Stop! She stood, sudden strength in her voice. You filmed my breakdowns to use against me. You made me a slave and my daddy's gift. You tried to steal what my parents gave their lives to provide. Thessaly found her voice, venomous. You pathetic little— Like Harrison Blackmore, your second husband? I pulled out the final document. Died of natural causes, right? Funny how his family just got the exhumation order. Arsenic tests are very accurate now. Thessaly went gray. You wouldn't. I already did. I moved to Evelyn, wrapping my arm around her. 30 minutes to pack what's actually yours, which is nothing. Then leave, forever. Or what? Braxley tried for bravado. Or tomorrow, Stellara and I hold a press conference. CNN, Fox, everyone. The Blackmore family, George's serial killers. It's already scheduled. Evelyn stood taller, Marilyn's strength finally flowing through her. Get out of my house. She walked to the door, opening it to the storm. Now!
If you're screaming justice right now, if you believe Evelyn deserves freedom, destroy that subscribe button. Share this story with everyone. Predators like the Blackmores exist because people stay silent. Don't be silent. Be Evelyn's voice. Hit that button now.
Thessaly's scream could have shattered every church window in Savannah. I'll destroy you! Both of you! I own judges! Senators! You owned them, I corrected, showing my phone. Until an hour ago. The screen showed Thessaly's photo beside the headline, Georgia socialite under federal investigation for murder and elder fraud. Bellamy Whitehorse had contacts everywhere. One leak in Thessaly's empire crumbled. Braxley grabbed the phone. Harvard education worthless against panic. How did you— Your gambling debts are also public, Braxley. 300 grand to the Torelli family. They're very interested in collecting. That was partly speculation. I had proof of 200, but his reaction confirmed more. He stumbled backward, knocking over Evelyn's easel. Her painting, Sunrise over Tybee Island, crashed down, canvas tearing. Evelyn, please, he begged, attempting charm. We can work through— You recorded me trying to kill myself. Evelyn's voice was steel. You documented my psychiatric holds. You stole my medical records. You watched your mother treat me like garbage and laughed. She walked to the mantel, picking up our family photo. Her, Marilyn, and me at Tybee Island, building sandcastles when she was 7. Mama would be heartbroken that I let you near us, but she'd be proud of me for throwing you out. Xander stumbled downstairs, laptop under his arm. What's the screaming? He saw everything spread out. Ah, shit, we're done? Language, Thessaly snapped, then turned on him. Pack everything, now! The next hour was beautiful chaos. Thessaly threw belongings into garbage bags, designer clothes getting soaked, makeup running. Braxley tried taking the TV. Mine, Evelyn said quietly. I bought it! With my credit card. I have it all recorded. I'm live streaming. 8,000 viewers watching you steal. He dropped it, screen cracking against the door frame. Xander dragged his equipment out, muttering, but passing Evelyn, he paused. Stellara was cool. Sorry we're monsters. The only humanity shown. Thessaly's final load included Marilyn's jewelry box. I caught her at the door. That was my wife's. Prove it, she hissed. Evelyn appeared, still live streaming. 12,000 viewers now, watching you steal from my dead mother. Thessaly dropped the box, jewelry scattering. You little Mrs. Blackmore, a deep voice interrupted. FBI agent stood at the steps. We need you to come with us. Bellamy had worked miracles. Thessaly's scream echoed through the historic district as they led her away. Neighbors emerged, the entire street watching the Queen fall. Braxley ran for his Tesla, but it wouldn't start. I held up his keys. That's theft. It's in Evelyn's driveway, her property. I tossed the keys into the mud. Fetch. He scrambled in the mud, finding them just as another car arrived. A woman emerged, federal badge visible. Braxley Blackmore? Agent Rodriguez. Stellara Chan is my cousin. She smiled coldly. We have questions about wire fraud and conspiracy. As they drove him away in handcuffs, neighbors began applauding. The whole street, people who'd watched Evelyn grow up, who'd brought food after Marilyn died, stood witness to her freedom. Justice is here. If you've been waiting for this moment, if you believe survivors deserve victory, subscribe now. Hit that bell. Share Evelyn's triumph, because every share tells predators we're watching. Don't let her stand alone. Be her army.
6 months later, Evelyn's laughter filled the garden of 1847 Sunrise Circle. Real laughter that made the butterflies dance. She was planting jasmine, dirt under her nails, wearing Marilyn's old sun hat, absolutely radiant. Daddy, look! A monarch butterfly landed on her palm. Mama always said monarchs carry messages from heaven. I knelt beside her, my knees protesting but heart soaring. The garden that had been dead under Thessaly now exploded with life. Jasmine, roses, butterfly bushes, vegetables. Evelyn had planted each one herself, reclaiming her space. The divorce finalized yesterday, she said quietly, releasing the butterfly. Braxley couldn't contest from federal prison. 8 years for fraud. Thessaly got 15. The arsenic tests on her second husband proved positive. Xander fled to Thailand, probably running new scams. But that wasn't our concern. How do you feel? I asked. Evelyn sat back, considering. Free. Ashamed it took so long. Grateful you never gave up. Proud I survived. She paused. Mama would be proud, I interrupted, taking her dirt-covered hand. Incredibly proud. You survived something that kills people. You're helping others do the same. She squeezed my hand. Stellara's coming for dinner. Is that okay? Stellara Chen had become family. The two women, bonded by trauma, had founded the Sunrise House Foundation for financial abuse survivors. 40 members now, meeting weekly in Evelyn's home. I have something for you, I said, pulling out an envelope.
Evelyn opened it, gasping. "Daddy, this is the deed to your shed. Selling it. Building a tiny house in your backyard. Permits are approved. We start next month." "Daddy, no! You sacrificed everything!" "I'm 74, baby girl. I spent 20 years giving you a house. Now, I want to spend whatever time God gives me helping you make it a home. Your mama would harm me otherwise." She threw her arms around me, crying into my shoulder. Healing tears. The doorbell rang. Evelyn wiped her face, laughing. "That's probably Bellamy with the settlement papers." Vasily's assets, once investigated, revealed 50 years of theft. The court awarded damages to all victims. Not millions, but enough to protect 1847 Sunrise Circle forever. Bellamy entered the garden, but not alone. A young woman, maybe 22, stood beside her, frightened eyes, defensive posture. "Evelyn, Kaylin, this is Skylin. She was engaged to Xander Blackmore. She needs help." The cycle trying to continue, but we were ready. Evelyn stood up, brushing off dirt, and walked to Skylin with open arms. "You're safe now. Come inside. I'll make sweet tea and we'll talk. First thing, it's not your fault. It never was." As they walked inside, I heard Evelyn say, "The shame almost killed me, but shame is their weapon. We're taking it back." I stayed in the garden, surrounded by new growth, and pulled out Marilyn's photo. "She's okay, honey. Our baby girl is more than okay." The monarch butterfly circled back, landing on the jasmine, and I swear I smelled Marilyn's perfume on the wind.
Evelyn survived and thrived, but thousands are trapped right now. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and share it immediately. Every share might reach someone who needs to know they're not alone, not crazy, and not powerless. Be their hope. Hit that button now. 1 year later. The house at 1847 Sunrise Circle had never seen such joy. Paper lanterns swayed in the Georgia breeze while a jazz quartet played Marilyn's favorite hymns. 300 people filled the garden, where Evelyn stood on the restored porch, painted sunrise gold like her childhood dream, raising a glass of sweet tea. 2 years ago, I nearly lost everything, she began, her voice carrying strong and clear. Not just this house, but my will to live. My daddy? She found me in the crowd, tears sparkling, refused to let that happen. I stood near my newly built tiny house, watching my daughter shine. The investigation had uncovered 43 victims across 9 states. The Blackmore crime syndicate was finished. Braxley's testimony, desperately trying to reduce his sentence, had exposed a 50-year pattern of elder abuse, marriage fraud, and 4 confirmed murders. This house, Evelyn continued, isn't just mine. It belongs to every survivor who's found strength here. Stellara stood beside her, radiant in recovered confidence. Their support group had become a national nonprofit, the Sunrise House Foundation, helping financial abuse victims nationwide. This garden party was their first major fundraiser. Skylin, Xander's former victim, now ran their legal aid program. She'd testified via video link. Xander was arrested in Bangkok, sending him to Thai prison. Today, she stood tall, finally free. "Daddy, come up here," Evelyn called. I climbed the porch steps, arthritis protesting, heart full. Evelyn handed me a plaque. "The Keelan and Marilyn Memorial Garden, where love conquers fear." "Daddy, you didn't just save my house, you saved my life, and now we're saving others." The crowd erupted, survivors, supporters, warriors all. I saw neighbors who testified, Bellamy Whitehorse, who'd worked pro bono, Jericho Cross, documenting everything for the Foundation's website. "Speech," someone called. I looked at the faces, fighters all. Marilyn always said a house is just wood and nails. A home is the love within its walls. The Blackmores tried to steal Evelyn's house, but they never touched her home because that lives here. I touched my chest, and here. I gestured to everyone and all of you who refused to let evil win.
20 years ago, I promised my dying wife I'd give our daughter her dream house. But Evelyn gave me something greater, proof that love is stronger than greed, that truth defeats lies, and that broken things, when mended with courage, become unbreakable. Evelyn hugged me, whispering, "Mama would be so proud." She is, baby girl. She is. As the sun set over Savannah, painting the sky in shades of rose and gold, I watched Evelyn work the crowd, comforting new victims, laughing with Stellara, coordinating volunteers. The broken butterfly had become an eagle. "Mr. Keelan," a young woman approached, nervous. "I'm Emberlyn. My mother is being manipulated by her new husband. Could we talk?" And so it continued. The house at 1847 Sunrise Circle had become a lighthouse, guiding victims to safety. I walked through the garden, stopping at the bench under the ancient oak. A plaque read, "Marilyn Keelan, 1949 to 2021. Love planted here blooms forever." We did it, honey. Our baby came home. The wind chimed through the jasmine, carrying laughter and hope. And somewhere in that symphony, I heard Marilyn's voice. "I knew you would, my love." A monarch butterfly landed on my shoulder, orange as sunset, gentle as Marilyn's kiss. It stayed for a moment, then flew toward the house where Evelyn stood framed in the doorway, light spilling around her like heaven's blessing. This wasn't the end. It was the beginning of healing, of justice, of lives rebuilt from ashes. The house at 1847 Sunrise Circle stood as proof that love, real love, the kind that sacrifices everything and never surrenders, is the strongest force in existence. And somewhere, Marilyn was smiling.
If Evelyn's story made you cry, made you furious, made you believe in justice, then act. Subscribe now. Share this everywhere. Comment #JusticeForEvelyn. Every victim thinks they're alone. Prove them wrong. Your share could save a life. If you scroll past without subscribing, without sharing, remember, Evelyn almost didn't survive. She almost became another statistic, another woman destroyed by predators. Your action could be someone's lifeline. Don't let another daughter disappear into abuse. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, share this story. Together, we're unbreakable. And if you don't, tonight when you're safe in bed, remember there's a woman somewhere, hiding in a bathroom, whispering for help, praying someone will hear her. Be that someone. Act now.